tonight, this call is all about us living our purpose. And one of the big reasons that we've created this challenge, and whilst absolutely everything within EAM and the next steps that I'll be talking about with the energy expansion is open to everyone because it's about changing your own life. One of the things that's been massively important to me, and I know Claire and all of our mentors will probably be bored of me talking about this, but not even bored of me talking about it, but has been such a huge part of what we're really here for, is calling in change makers. People who they might already be doing work in the world. They might already be out there making a difference. You know, you might already be a coach or a counselor or a therapist or a psychologist or a doctor or a nurse or a teacher or a speaker or a coach, whatever label it is. There is something in your heart that you know that you're here to serve others and create change in some way. And I have been wanting to share EAM with as many change makers as possible for a very, very long time. One of the biggest challenges I've seen, I've been coaching. I was thinking about this earlier and I was like, God, I do feel really old. I'm going to be 39 next Friday, but I feel incredibly old because I feel like I've lived like a whole grown-up's life. I'm still waiting to grow up, just to be very clear with you, but I feel like I've lived a whole grown-up's life because I've just been on a mission since I was 17. And one of the things I've seen over the last 20 odd years coaching, helping, empowering people in all the different things that I've done, working as a business and marketing coach, which I spent a good 5 years doing before stepping fully into my purpose and stopping hiding from myself, was seeing so many change makers hiding either from what they're here for, or if they're not hiding, they're unable to follow the calling in their heart because they're stuck in let's call it a 9 to 5, doing a job that's just to pay the bills, but isn't allowing them to step into actually doing what they're here for. Does that make sense? I can see some very big nods. I truly believe one of the most heartbreaking things that people can experience, and obviously I'm talking a little bit further up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, after food, love, security, money, a roof over your head, but towards the top of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is actually based on the chakra system, is self-expression. It is about life purpose. It is about contribution. These higher chakras above the heart are all dedicated to us living, breathing, sharing our expression of ourselves in the world and using that to contribute to the rest of the community. And it is something that every single human being on the planet is literally wired to do. It does not mean that you have to be, setting up an energy healing center or, some kind of, I was going to say Mother Teresa as an example, but I've heard things about Mother Teresa recently. She's not my favorite person anymore. But it doesn't mean you have to have some big world-changing vision. I truly believe that whatever job somebody's doing, whether it's the person serving you coffee, whether it's someone driving the bus, whether it's someone doing the gardening, doing the washing, whatever it is, it's about us showing up in the fullness of who we are and what we are really truly here for. And that, for me, just very simply comes back to us being in alignment and being true to ourselves in every single area of our life. Some of you who listen to the podcast may have, I don't know if any of you, the podcast for EAM, The Energy Revolution, if you're not listening to it, please go search on your favorite podcast platform, you'll find. I don't think it was I'm not sure if it was the one that came out this week, but I shared a little story of truly living your life in alignment, and what expressing yourself fully and speaking your truth can really do. I say a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was in London for the Medical Freedom March. And it wasn't the first march that I've been to, but it was actually a lot smaller than some of the ones that I've been to before. There were still tens of thousands of people, probably a few 100,000 people on the march. But there was just this nagging doubt inside of me that the whole time round, not the whole time, but a lot of the time round, I was thinking, what is, in my head, what is the point in doing this? Like, why are we really doing this? Is this really going to make a difference? Is it going to make people, whoever, politicians, and I'm trying not to make this political, but is it going to make people stop and listen? Is it going to change the course of what they're doing or what is happening? Is it really going to make an impact? And literally, as soon as I finished saying that, because where the marches are going, they're not just walking around the middle of London, like central London. They're now really starting to take it out into the suburbs where people were living. And we'd walked all the way from Hyde Park. We ended up all the way in Clapham Common. For any of you who know London, that's like a 5-mile march. And we went through Brixton and loads of other places. And it was so wonderful to see so many people literally hanging out of their windows in their houses. There were people applauding. There were people who were wearing masks who took them off. There were people smiling and laughing. And I heard, as we walked through Brixton, I heard this really beautiful old Jamaican woman who just reminded me of my nan, which was probably a part of the reason it made me burst into tears. But she actually took her mask off, and I heard her talking to 2 other people on the side of the road. And she actually turned around and said, "Thank God you came, because you've all given me hope. You've all given me hope." Because all people see of what's going on the news and the media is everyone's had this, and you must be doing this, and you must comply. And I thought, you know what? If all that's happened today, with hundreds of thousands of people coming out and speaking their truth and standing up for what they believe was right, I'm not saying one way or the other what's right or wrong, but everybody that was there because they were standing up for what they know is right for them. And if that inspired hope, if that inspired action, if that allowed 10 people, 5 people, 100 people to continue believing, that for me is worth it. Every single step, that for me is worth it. Because every single human being on the planet needs hope. You don't need anybody else to give it to you. It's always an inner game. But when we lose hope, life becomes almost meaningless. And I do believe that if we aren't living our purpose, if we aren't working towards our purpose, we feel hopeless. But the other piece of the puzzle is that you living your life purpose and speaking your truth, you have no idea. You have no idea what an impact that will make in anybody else's life. If I'd allowed my fears to control me, EAM would not exist. Some 5 years ago, when all of the downloads came in, when it was like, yeah, Yvette, this is what you're really here for, universe. This is what you're here for. This is what you need to get on with. I was like, who the swear word do I think I am? I'm not a doctor of anything. I'm not a psychologist. I haven't spent years studying some massive major degree in blah, 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 blah. Who am I to be sharing this? And these were all the doubts that were going through my mind the first time that I shared EAM at a distance in a Facebook group. And it was literally the feedback that came back. I thought we'd have maybe 50 people in the Facebook group. And in 11 days, we had like 450 people to join the community and started learning EAM. And every single day, and I swear the universe did it, because otherwise I wouldn't have continued. But every single day, there were people who were like, I have just let go of pain I've been carrying for 20 years. I have just let go of something that I have been working with a counsellor for the last 6 months and haven't been able to shift. I have just let go of physical pain that the doctors have not been able to identify and figure out what's been wrong with me, and it's gone. And I don't know what to do with that. That's really strange. And I was like, holy crap, okay, there is something here that I know I have to follow. And at that point, beginning of 2015, I was 4 months into being a mummy. 4 months, got a newborn baby and a brand new mission that I knew that I had to follow. And the only thing that's kept me going all that time has been a calling in my heart that I know that this is what I'm here for. There have been so many days, you would not believe how many days I have wanted to give up. I have wanted to stop. I have thought, what's the point? Why am I doing this? And especially this last year, truthfully, this last year, I felt like I failed in so many ways because I felt like I didn't get it out there soon enough. I felt like enough people didn't hear it. Not many people knew about EAM. And there were probably about 3 months that I was like, do I just give up? Do I just give up? And every single time I have those days, someone in our community sends me a message or posts on our Facebook. I've just let go of this. This has just disappeared. I've just been able to free myself from this. I've just changed my relationship with my mum or my dad or my sister or my brother or my cat or whatever, every single time. And that is truly the thing that keeps me moving forward, truly. So the reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because tonight, what I want you to do is to become so much clearer on your purpose, whatever that is, whatever your purpose looks like, whatever your mission is. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be world changing. It's about you showing up in your full authenticity and your full integrity in whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Because that is what the world needs now, more than ever. So there are 119 of us on here live tonight, and whoever is joining us in the Facebook group, and that is our intention for this evening. Who would like to get some clarity on their purpose? The world needs us. The world needs us in so many ways. So I'm super grateful to that lady at the side of the road because she's inspired me. She really inspired me. And it was actually really strange because from March, one of Jay, my boyfriend's partners who's in Jamaica, sent us a video, and he's like, look at all of these amazing people that were marching through Brixton. Someone else had sent it. This woman had recorded 15 minutes of hundreds of people walking past, and she was like, oh my God, look at this. This is incredible. There's all these people like standing up for what's right in the world. And it had kind of done this loop. It had gone back to Jamaica and then came back to Jay through his uncle. And he was like, look at this. And he was like, yeah, we were there. That was us. So, you know, your ripples, your message, your alignment can ripple out around the world. It really can ripple out around the world and make a big, big difference. So where are we? Well, I'm sure I've sidetracked or digressed ever so slightly from what we were talking about. But the purpose piece, so often what this ends up feeling like is we end up staying in a job that we don't want, that we're just doing the 9 to 5. We're not following our purpose. We're not following what we're here for. And very often people can actually fall out of love. Who's ever experienced this? Like you fall out of love with the work that you're doing, even though you know you're here to do something. Like when you're not fully on purpose, you kind of fall out of love with it and start questioning yourself. Am I just going mad? Has anyone had that experience? I could see Joanne nodding. So I don't want that for you, because living a life unfulfilled and dying with a purpose inside you, I think, is one of the biggest controversies, travesties, whatever the word is I'm supposed to share. that we haven't lived our purpose, if you haven't been able to express what is in your heart. And if there's ever anything like feeling judged, or feeling like you're not good enough, or feeling fearful, or who the hell am I to be doing this? Why should I be the person that's making the difference? All of those things are just limitations, which we worked on Tuesday. They're all the self-sabotage patterns. Anytime you hear that voice in your head that's coming up with those doubts, with those stories, those excuses as to why not, now you know, and I know you knew it before, but now I want you to know it's just energy. It's just a resistance or reversal. It's just a recording. That's all it is. It's just a recording in my energy field that has been stuck on a loop. Someone pressed play and it's been on repeat for a very long time. And now I know how to delete that. Bloop. I am ready to delete that with EAM, and I can release that fear, because I can guarantee you that when you let go of the fear, when you let go of the lack of self-belief, when you let go of anything that's coming up as those inner voices, EAM it and let it go. One, your mindset, your energy, your focus, your drive, your clarity, all completely transform. All of a sudden, the right ideas start to pop in, because your energy is no longer in that resistant space. So the right ideas pop in, the right opportunities appear, the right people arrive in your life at the right time, the right book appears in front of you. Whatever it is, when you release the resistance, the answer is given. Very often when people talk about the law of attraction, they think it's got to be the manifestation of a car or a house or a physical thing, or becoming famous. And I don't know if any of you saw the video I did this afternoon with Kylie about her journey, but the real changes come in such subtle ways. And the answers come when we have cleared that resistance, that lack of disbelief, that self-doubt and those fears. When they're gone, the clarity as to what to do to get to where you're going will come when you're open to receiving it. And so our only work is to get ourselves into alignment, and then follow the actions, the messages, the pathway, following your heart when your heart says yes. If your heart is screaming yes to you to do something, you do it. You move heaven and earth to do it, because that is your soul guiding you forward on your path. And anything that stands in the way of you listening to your heart and soul, that's the stuff we need to let go of. That's the stuff from the old paradigm. That's the crap that we've made up or has been programmed into us that is not true. The only truth you ever need to listen to, everybody, the only truth we ever need to listen to is in our heart. That's it. It's not me, what I say. It's not what any other coach or practitioner or whoever is saying. It's about finding the truth in your heart. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm on a mission to empower as many people as possible to listen into themselves. That's what alignment really is. Knowing in your heart and soul, it doesn't matter what anyone tells you, you know your own truth. You know your purpose, you know your message, you know what's right for you, because your heart will always, always want the best for you. It has no other agenda other than you living your most incredible life. So we're going to take a look now. We're going to have 5 minutes to yourself in your workbooks on pages 21 and 22. Okay, 21 and 22. I would love for you to just spend 5 minutes. Claire's going to create some beautiful magical music for us. I want you to just spend 5 minutes to yourself. What do you think your true purpose is? We're going to build on this tonight and do some more work on this in the session. But just as a starting point, starting sentence, what do you think your true purpose is? What is standing in the way of you fulfilling your purpose? And that question we've been asking all week again, what is it costing you? Not living your purpose fully. Some of you might be living your purpose already, in which case that's amazing. But is there anything standing in the way of you fully expressing it? But what is it costing you again in terms of time, money, energy, happiness, opportunities, not progressing and feeling like you're actually moving forward to where you want to be? So you've got 5 minutes to yourself. And then I've got somebody to share, somebody really cool that you're going to love to meet, who's going to come and share a little bit of their journey with you. So 5 minutes to yourself now. You ready with the magical music, Claire? For those of you who are just coming in, we're on pages 21 and 22 in the workbook. So you just might want to spend a little bit of time answering those questions. Just got another few minutes together. Okay. If you'd like to start posting your messages in the chat, what clarity you have. I know some of you are like, I can't figure this out. I don't know what I'm here for. It's okay. We're going to bring clarity to this tonight. At least that's where you're starting. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. So what have we got? So thank you for that lovely piece of music, Claire. Carolee, Smita says her purpose is to be a healer. Karen wants to help others and doing for others what they cannot do for themselves, especially the elder community. Smita says her purpose is to be a healer. I'm going to get you to elaborate on that tonight, because our purpose is not a title, it's a doing, but we'll come back to that. For people to teach, for people to feel included and seen, to show there are different ways to plant seeds in people's minds. Apart from God, I just want us all to be happy. I'd be happy if I could share my learnings in inner wisdom, especially with women, to empower them. I know my purpose, which is bringing joy through acting. I'm actually starting to achieve it a bit by bit. Julie says, not sure what my purpose is, but I like uplifting people and wanting to help people heal themselves. My true purpose is to make the earth the Garden of Eden, starting with my own family, parenting, education, organisming. That was nearly a tie-in to what we were talking about last night. I was like, is that the subject? The world, reconnecting to the planet. Joanne's a successful artist, community garden. My current purpose is to be a nicer person. Still don't know for sure what I'm supposed to do other than to be a voice for the voiceless. I love this. I love my true purpose of empowering women, helping women really live, making products that are chemically free, helping children, a sex coach, want to teach sex as a healing and love more than just getting off. Laura, you are going to love the person that is about to come on and share in a moment. I'm a healer. Theodora says, this is costing me time to complete what I came here to do. You are so right. And I have to change this. Okay. This is really important and a really wonderful start. Some of you have got some clarity, definitely. And some of you I know are like, oh, I don't know. Like, what the hell am I here for? So we are going to do some work on this evening, because I want to show you how you can get closer to understanding what you're here for. There is another step beyond this, which is really getting very clear on your vision and what you want to create. But the first thing is really, truly understanding your why. So I'm going to guide you through an exercise today. Our EAM piece of the puzzle is going to be guiding you through an exercise to get so much closer to your why. Why? Everything you've all shared is amazing for those of you that have got it. And those of you who haven't yet, we're going to start with a guess as to what you think it is. And I'm going to guide you through a process to get clearer and clearer on what your why is, because once you understand your why, everything else becomes easy. The how, the what, the who, the where, the when, all of those things, but it all begins with your why. So tonight we're going to get some clarity on that. So before I lead you on to the teachy part of the journey, I would love to introduce you to one of our beautiful, amazing EAM mentors who has been on one hell of a journey, one hell of a journey to understanding how why. I don't know if can you unmute, sweetheart, if you're here, Kerry? who's, some of you will have definitely heard me talk about Kerry's journey before, but I really wanted to invite her to share her story with you, because her why and her journey has not been easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, there you are, darling. Sorry, I was searching away. I was like, where is she? Can't unmute you. Let me introduce you to this beautiful soul. This is Kerry O'Sullivan. And for any of you who haven't met her yet, you tie in so beautifully to what we were talking last night. We were talking about money, sex, and horror, which is always a good conversation. But tonight, what I thought would be, I know you've been on for the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, you know, that tonight, this is all about our purpose. And your journey, when I was thinking about tonight, you're one of many, but your journey particularly, right from the very start with EAM, has been literally about unfolding your life purpose. And where it began 3-4 years ago, when was it? Was it 3 years or 4 years?
I think it was nearly 4. I think
it's
now.
4 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We've been around for that long. But your journey some 4 years ago, that's when the beginning of your purpose really began to express, and it has changed considerably from the beginning then to where it is now. And I just thought it would be really lovely to look at you. You're looking very glamorous.
I've had this on all day, but you know, I thought, why not?
Just gonna look sexy as I do. I was hoping you would share a little bit about your journey from the beginning to where things are in your life now.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, before I go launch into that, I just wanted to touch on that. I've heard a lot of people saying about, I don't know what my purpose is. And when I found EAM, I had no idea what my purpose was. All I knew is that there was more. I knew there was more, and I knew I was here to do more. And I knew that my drive and ambition in life has always been just to inspire the masses, to heal, to connect with others. And I did it already. I was already a reflexologist. I already did lots of like healing and Indian head massage, all these different things. I was already doing that work when I met Yvette and found EAM. And saying yes to joining EAM was huge for me, because everything I've ever done has always been about others. And I was here signing up because that was before we even knew mentoring was even kind of part of it. It was just actually a self-development course for me. And that was a bit of a step in itself. So when I said yes, it was huge. And so am I starting from the first weekend when I threw my toys out?
Yeah, like you can do, because that was the beginning of what you're doing. That is the beginning of what you're doing now.
Yeah, so when I had the first weekend, basically we did a vision meditation, and it was all about finding your purpose, finding your next steps. And it was quite a deep, long, like meditation. And at the end, like it was like the first weekend, so I was all in. So there he was at the end, everyone was like that, frantically writing their responses, what they saw in their meditation. I just sat there like a kid, like like this. And Yvette was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, well, that was a load of rubbish because I didn't see anything.
That wasn't what you said. You said it was a load of shit, was actually what you said.
And I basically was like, right, I didn't see anything. And she's like, well, you saw nothing. I said, well, I saw this little girl walking around in the woods lost, and that's all I saw. She's like, well, that's what you saw. And I was like, yeah, well, Anyway, so the whole weekend or the whole day I was in a bit of a foul mood, thinking, what the hell have I signed up for? Anyway, fast forward into actually starting to do the work, and we were starting to get closer to, you know, who are you, what is it you stand for, what are your beliefs about yourself. And that's when I started to uncover that there was more to me than I realized. And I didn't really love myself that much, actually, once I unpacked all the things that I do for others and started to look more within. And so I started, I'd already kind of connected into this, and I'm kind of doing this really quickly, so this is like the quick summary of
4 years in 4 minutes.
Yeah. I'd already connected into a part of myself that I was really uncomfortable with. So I did meditation just before I joined EAM, and I'd connect into this sexual energy, this part of me that was really raw and wild. And there I was, like holistic, you know, reflexologist, mum, so innocent and beautiful, wanting to heal the world, la la la. And then on the other side of that was this like wild sexual goddess that just wanted to fuck everyone, basically. And so I had this like rawness in me that I didn't really know what to do with, right? And so I didn't really tell anyone about it. But then I had like a one-to-one with Yvette, because I was part of the program back in the day. And I kind of told her about this side of me, and I was like, I'm a bit embarrassed, but this is what I feel like, and we kind of explored it a bit. And to cut a very long story short, we uncovered that I connected to this part of myself, this sexual energy in me, around the age of 5, and that completely threw me off balance. I didn't really understand why. And like, with EAM, we don't necessarily know the why, but that was it. That was the fact, right? And so as the months progressed, what happened was I started to delve more deeply into my thoughts, and then I started to remember things from my past where I'd been like sexually abused as a child and been assaulted when I was 17, and there was things that happened to me in my life that I'd literally forgotten about my whole entire life. So there I was, I'd left my big career, knew there was something more to me to be doing, and then I was in this course and thinking, is this actually true? Like, all these things I'm remembering, are they true? I don't really understand. And what I tried to do, what I've done my whole entire life, is I just tried to squash it down. I didn't do the work because I didn't want to do the work. I was like just trying to run away from everything I was thinking and feeling. And obviously over time, with the support that I had from the mentors and the things like that, I started to unpack it a little bit more and started to work on the feelings that were coming up for me with these memories. And then that led me into training in tantric massage. So I went to see a tantric massage practitioner to help me heal from sexual trauma that I'd felt. Because actually, when you talk about the hara and you connect to that part of your body, I knew that I had no connection with my hara, no connection with my sexual energy. Like my whole lower body was completely numb. And so I went for this healing, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I was like, wow, I need to train in this. So then I went down this path of training tantric massage while still trying to connect to who I was, myself, and connect to like my inner beauty. Like, I was so disconnected with my body, physical body, with who I was, everything that I was about. And so I went on this crazy journey. And in the meantime, I was also with a partner. I'm still with him now. We've been together nearly 11 years. The poor guy, I mean, geez, he didn't know what had happened, because I'd gone from quite a normal person-ish, or normal-ish, and then all of a sudden sex was like this big part of my life. I wanted to explore my sexuality. I wanted to go out and do all this crazy stuff, and he was just like, who is this person, right? And also, when I realised I wanted to explore more about sex for my actual job and start to combine it with EAM and start to find my way in this field, I had so much resistance from family, from friends, like, seriously, why are you doing this? What's sex got to do with anything? And I was like, I just had this inner knowing, this trust in me, like, this is what I'm here for. Like, all of a sudden something clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I found Yvette. This is why I'm doing EAM. This is why all this stuff's come up. This is what I'm here for. And no matter how much resistance I had from anyone, I just had this trust. And I was on a mission, wasn't I? I was like literally on a mission.
A little bit.
and I've always said I want to like inspire the masses. That's what I want to do. And I did a talk for Yvette. I think it was either last year or the year before. I don't remember. It was like 300-400 people online. And I've never done anything like this. And I basically used my tantric embodiment, a bit of EAM, all that sort of stuff, like in the mix. And it was phenomenal. And I blew everyone away. And I was like, wow, like I really am here for this. And then, just to cut a very long story short, since then I've gone on and spoken in front of thousands of people. I've just become an Amazon selling author. I had my book come out in July a couple of months ago, and I'm now sharing my story. I'm sharing EAM through my book with sexual energy combined. I'm talking loads about pussy power and all this sort of stuff.
That's the second time that's come up. That was mentioned last night, pussy power. This isn't all about sex, just for those of you who are thinking, oh my God, what the hell's going to happen if I take the next step? It's not all about sex and stuff.
It's so much more than sex, but you have to really like connect to who you are and your purpose, not the purpose, but who you are before you can open up into the more, to all the good stuff, right?
Exactly.
And so I've always spoke, and this is like the thing that's come to like the head in the last few weeks, is that I've always had this vision of going on to live swimming, right? This is what I've always spoke about since I've known that I want to do talk about self-pleasure, talk about pussy power, talk about sex, and I really you see what I'm like now, I chat very openly about everything, right? And I just saw myself on loose swimming. That's all I see in my visions, right? So I speak about it to everybody. Everyone I can mention to, I mention it to. And then in May, I get an email, not from Loose Women, but from Channel 4, saying, Channel 4 documentary, can we have a chat? And so they had a chat with me. I think they thought they struck gold. They'd found someone who's had this massive journey, was working in the field of tantra, sexuality, energy, and then also like was really eager to get the message out there. And it was a film all around sexual healing and how basically taking a celebrity through a journey where she gets to learn about this field. And so, my darlings, in 3 weeks, I'm going to be on Channel 4 on a program called Sex Actually, and I've just seen some things from it today, and honestly, I'm going to be on TV in 3 weeks. So it is honestly, and that is literally the shortest version of my story I've told.
I'm impressed.
But
the
point of all this is, right, and I've made myself a little note, so I made sure I kept in, is that I stayed in my lane. This is the biggest thing, right? Is that it's like once you get that connection and that inner knowing that there is more, that there's something else, like there's something in you that sparks your fire, that makes you feel alive. That was always for me around sexual energy, and like that is always what's been part of my life. And as much resistance as I've had from so many people around this field, I knew that even more I had a job to do, because the resistance meant that it drove me forward even more. So I've had my sisters unfriending me on Facebook. She can't cope with my posts. I've had like so much resistance from my family that just think that it's wrong what I do. And now in 3 weeks' time, I'm going to prove to the world it ain't bloody wrong. It's fucking powerful stuff, and the whole world needs to know about it. Yes. So that's it.
Oh, can we all give Kerry a massive bloody round of applause? We spoke, I mean, we'd spoken, we knew obviously the Channel 4 thing was coming, but today, like you said, you did actually get to see what out of 16 hours of filming they were with you, and actually, you know, they've been with you as you've done a tantric massage session and obviously doing EAM with your clients as well, 16 hours shortened into 12 minutes. You never know what the hell they're going to do with that footage and how
Yvette, no one's meant to know that, but I've just told all these, but no one's meant to know that I've seen it, because really, I should have seen it.
None of that happened. This is not being streamed on Facebook. Sorry,
I've only seen it because it's like it's pretty bloody powerful. So watch it.
We will. We'll share when it's coming out. But thank you for coming on and sharing, and your journey, along with many of the mentors, but your journey from day one has literally been about you stepping into this purpose. It, like, literally from the first session, the first day I met you, the whole thing has been about unfolding this piece of the puzzle that was based around your stuckness, the part that you didn't even know was going on, but your purpose unfolded. It doesn't all just appear overnight, but it came through the work that you did and the clarity that you allowed yourself to fully express and become in alignment with who you are. And that was what I really wanted to share, which you've done so beautifully this evening.
And leaning into all of it, all the pain, everything, and not running away. And I can't not introduce you to my goddess. You can see head, heart, hara, you know, she's got some serious pussy power. She's the front cover of my book, Surrender to Your Truth. My book's called. Someone just asked. That's what it's called. So, because that's what it's all about, and that's what you're on this journey for. Don't fuck about. Listen to what's going on in there, and don't give like the edited version. Give the raw version of you, because that's what you need to go to. You know.
It really, truly is. So thank you.
All right, sweet.
Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Thank you for being so raw and real, as you always are.
I'm still here, but I'm going to mute myself.
I can't wait to see. I know you've already impacted hundreds and thousands of lives with the work that you're doing, but I just cannot wait to see what happens on the other side of this for you. So thank you. I thank you on behalf of all the people that you've already helped, because you being so raw and real and down to earth, you know, and I mean this in the nicest possible way. Most people, when they think, and I know this will probably come across in the documentary, but most people, when they think of someone who does tantra or yoga, or, you know, it's like it's a someone else. It's not a someone like me. And you're Kerry. And I mean that in a nice way. Like, you're Kerry. You're just so normal and beautiful and just like everybody else. So thank you for showing everyone what being truly in your power is all about.
And Yvette, I'm just going to say it because I think everyone is. Thank you for showing me the way, because I would not be here without you, and you know that.
Don't say that, because you know you'll make me cry.
Thank you, darling.
Love you.
Me too.
Thank you, gorgeous. Thank you. Can we all send Kerry some love, please? Send us some love. Love, 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 love. So all of you, I'm sharing this now before we go into the teach. If Kerry can step into her purpose, talking about fucking pussy power, being in your own energy, like finding herself and stepping out into the world to help thousands of people with that, I think we can find your purpose. I think we can do some work to get you clear and find your purpose. And it doesn't even have to be that out there as this, okay? We can just do general empowerment or energy healing, whatever it is. but if Kerry can do it, we can all. So thank you for that, darling. I know you've got to run before your next call. Let's just remember us when you're uber famous, won't you? Just remember us. I'm gonna have to schedule a call with your booking, darlings. Let me speak to your PA. Right, I love you. I'll see you later. Okay, let's get on with the shares with tonight's teach and then into some EAM, because we are gonna create some magic. So your passion and purpose is what we are here for this evening, to bring some clarity to where we are today. So as you know, obviously all this week we've been looking at your soul. We've done the work on your life, which was our relationship stuff. And yesterday we started work on your work, which was working around the money conversation. And yes, sex came up a lot last night. And yes, sex has come up a lot today. But like I said, it's not the be all and end all of everything we do. But this is about your passion and purpose, finding out what you are truly here for. Now, when I talk about your passion, purpose, and people, this is one of the ways that we really break this down, because your purpose, your passion, and the people you are here to serve are three very different things, okay? Your purpose is not a job. I can't remember who it was, someone posted this earlier, but your purpose is not a job. It's not a job title. Your purpose will be something that you find yourself doing almost every day. Like wherever you are, it's like the role that you show up in. You will probably have been doing this most of your life. It's like you can almost not help yourself in terms of doing this. It's usually a skill or a quality. It's a way of being, and it's how we contribute to the community that we're within, whether it's a small community, big community, whether that community is your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your work, but it's usually the way that you show up. So just to give you an idea what I'm talking about, my purpose is to teach. It doesn't matter what I'm teaching. It doesn't matter where I'm teaching. It doesn't matter who I'm teaching. My purpose is to teach. That is me in my flow state, in my happiest place. If I don't get to teach, I am freaking miserable. And wherever I am, I usually end up teaching in some way, even if that teach is a little 30-second teach. I'm usually sharing and imparting knowledge somehow. So, and if I look back throughout the whole of my life, even from when I was tiny. I think I might have mentioned this the other day. I've been around teaching for most of my life, and all of my jobs in some way have been about teaching people. More specifically, it's been about teaching people to be empowered in different ways. So what does that look like for you? Because your purpose is usually easy. It usually absolutely flows out of you. And some people will call it like your superpower. People will just think it's like you do it so easily, and it will almost feel like you shouldn't be doing it because it just comes so naturally to you. That's what your purpose will be. Now, there are actually lots of ways that you can support what you're doing with EAM in terms of finding out your purpose as well. A dear friend of mine does this amazing thing called scientific fingerprint analysis, which actually helps you discover your life purpose in your palms, which is amazing. And was actually one of the things that helped me get real clarity around what I'm here for. And also something called human design and Chinese astrology. A lot of them will help you understand who you are, what your makeup is, what you're here for, and what you're here to do. Now, your passion is more like the message. Your passion, the piece of the puzzle of where you put that skill, where you use that superpower, is like the thing or the cause that you know that you want to change, or you feel really passionate about it being different. I call it your soapbox moment. It's like the thing that you will stand on a soapbox and talk about all day, every day until the cows come home. I don't know where the cows have been. I always say that. And I think, where did that saying come from? I have no idea where the cows even went. However, there's something in you that sees a different way of doing things. There's something you see in the world that you would like to change, that you would like to be different, that you either have the skills and the knowledge and expertise for, or you see could be done in a completely different way, or you're very passionate about the fact that it is in that way and you want to see it change in some way. And even if it's not you that has the skills to create the change, you can follow your passion and live your purpose by facilitating others or creating ways for that change to happen. You do not have to be the expert on that subject. You are the change maker because you have the passion and you see the problem and the solution that needs to come with it. So that might be something that will help bring some clarity. What is it? Oh my God, you've got all the money in the world. You can wave a magic wand. Anything can happen. What is it you would change? Very often it comes from our own journey, not always, but very often it comes from our own journey. I truly believe that every single one of us has been through the life experiences that we've been through in order to help us get clarity about our purpose, about what we're here for. When I look back at my life and my childhood and many of the things that happened to me throughout my younger years, and any of you who've read my book, and as we go a little bit further along the journey, I will share more of my story. But I am so grateful for all of the things that happened to me before I was 17, because without them, one, I would never have been put on the path to finding myself and discovering who I am. But I never would have understood what darkness was really like. And therefore, I never would have understood or respected or appreciated what alignment and flow can be, because I never had the previous experience. If everything had just been really easy and bubbly, yeah, it would have been nice. I would have just had a happy story at the beginning, and yeah, I don't know any different. So I would love you to, I don't know your full life journey. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know the traumas and the pains and the things that you've had, but I absolutely know that when we heal from them, when you can let them go, when you shift them from your energy, what comes is a newfound love and appreciation for the journey you've been on, and clarity comes on the other side of it. It's really hard to find our purpose when we're still holding on to our pain. It's really hard. And even think about it just from an energy perspective, all that stuff's still recorded in your energy field. So you can't see past what you've got going on. So like Kerry said, this wasn't like a overnight thing. Day one, oh my God, I've discovered my life purpose. Like, it unfolded for her. It was probably a good 18 months into the journey for her, after working through the things that had happened in her past, after discovering it's like a continual journey of expansion. And I've said this so many times, there isn't a single one of us here who doesn't have stuff to still work on, because we are continuing to expand, and we always will. So don't worry about where you are in your journey. It's just about recognizing it's a journey, and the past is all just energy. The freedom comes in letting that go. So we did ask this question yesterday, and also again, just I think in your workbook now, but if you had an abundance of money, what difference would you be making in the world? What would you be doing? What will you be doing? People are then the community of people that you would like to make a difference to. So there's the three different elements. Your purpose is the doing piece, the teacher, the healer, whatever it might be, the skill. The passion is the message and the thing you want to change. And the people are who? If you could just pick one community of people, if that is for you, it doesn't have to be just one, but what is it that you want to change, and for who? Who are the people that you want to spend your time with? If you're going to be spending 30%, at least 30% of your waking life doing this work, whatever that looks like, who do you want to be hanging out with? Do you want to be hanging out with people who are low and depressed and miserable and not wanting to change themselves and really happy to be stuck in their problems and their issues and have absolutely no desire to shift out of where they are? Or do you want to be working with people who might be stuck and depressed and low, but they have a calling inside of them that they know they want things to be different? They're two completely different people. But there is somebody out there for you. There are people waiting for the gift that you have. You might know who they are, and maybe you have no idea, like Kerry said, and like a lot of my journey was, I just had a calling in my heart that I wanted to do something more. It wasn't until I actually started sharing EAM that I finally found what I'm here for. Everything else I did up to that point, I always knew that what I was doing wasn't right for me. It wasn't the right thing, but I had no idea what it was. And literally the only thing that kept moving me forward was this calling in my heart. There is something more. So who is it that's waiting for your gift? Who is it that's waiting for what you know or what you want to bring, or the experience that you've had? Your story is powerful. When you heal your story and you let go of that stuff, the transformation on the other side is inspirational to people beyond what you can possibly ever understand. But the important piece is the healing of it. I'm not one of those people that, it's like, get up and start sharing your message when you're still in the middle of your trauma, because that's not good for you at all. And it's certainly not good for the people that are listening to you either. There's a difference between vulnerability and just self-coaching, coaching yourself online publicly. We don't need that, and you don't need to put yourself through that. But when you've healed your journey, there will be somebody who needs to hear what you have to share. So I want to share with you, before we get into doing the big why, which we'll do in a moment, I want to share with you my big why. And even this has taken me a while to evolve and to get clarity around, even over the last 6 years of EAM. And I spent a very long time hiding this. In fact, this is probably not the first time, but one of the first times I've shared it probably so publicly, what the big vision is, because I know people will look, and I've even had people say this before, who do you think you are? I've actually had people say this to me in the last few months. Who do you think you are to believe that EAM can make that difference in the world? And it actually really knocked me for about 3 weeks. I was like, actually, maybe they're right. Who do I think I am? Who the hell do I think I am to think that it can make this difference? But I also know in my heart what I'm here for. And it is not about me. EAM is so not about me. It never has been. It never will be. I just absolutely know it's what I'm here to share. And I know that there are so many other people who are meant to be part of this big vision. And so we've got, like I said, we've got our mentors, some of who you've met, a couple of who you've met this week. But I know that everybody that we come into contact with is here for a reason. We're hearing this. We're all together for a reason. So I want to share with you a little bit of my big why and what the next steps are, because this has evolved. This wasn't what I started out with some 4 or 5 years ago. I can't believe I'm going to share this a little bit like that. So my big vision is to actually build a transformational community of 30 million, yes, million coaches, therapists, service-based change makers who will, by extension, touch the lives of 4 billion people. Just said that out loud. Shit. To change the limitations, the beliefs, to let go of the old paradigm. And there are 18 different communities around which we're going to be doing this. What the real plan is, and this has always been in my heart where I wanted this to be, is actually about changing the way that we live, not just as individuals, not just as one person and changing your life, although the energy evolution is absolutely structured to do that. The next step beyond that is also about changing the systems within which we live. Things like healthcare, education, finance systems, the way companies are structured, working with charities, working with organizations, letting go of and shifting the old paradigm, the hypocrisy, the misalignment, the incongruence, the fear, the manipulation and control, because all of those things are creating this world which is now falling apart. They have created and shaped the world in which we live. And I absolutely know in my heart that billions of people living in alignment will shift the world into something so incredibly beautiful that none of us can possibly imagine, because we've never experienced it before. So this is my mission in the next 9 years now. We're at the end of 2021, by the end of 2030. Now, it's scary as hell, even just to say that out loud. But one of the things I did sort of allude to at the end of last night has already, simply since I've declared this, in fact, it was within about 3 weeks of me actually putting this pen to paper, there is something on the horizon for EAM which will put EAM in front of 200 million people in the next year. So all of a sudden, this vision doesn't actually seem quite so scary. It's still scary as hell, but all of a sudden 30 million coaches doesn't actually seem that far off, doesn't feel that hard work, because I want to find the people who are already working in those communities, in those organizations, in the NHS, in the police services, teachers, all those people who are already in the world wanting to make a difference. Imagine all of them living their lives in alignment and using this in the work that they do. So I'm sharing this with you because I know in my heart, I absolutely know in my heart, where we're at right now is just the beginning. where all of us are right now is just the beginning. And it's taken me 5 years to get to this point, but I also know where it's going. And I want you to have that same level of trust and confidence in yourself for whatever your dream, idea, or vision is. So one of the ways that I just have to tell you this, one of the ways that we're actually bringing this into fruition, so I've actually set up a charity called We Changed the World. It's launching officially around November, where we're actually going to be fundraising for projects across all of these different 18 communities, things like working with teenagers, working with NHS staff, working with teachers, working with women's refugees, basically working with the communities of people who are already working with the people who need this the most. And it's going to be a program or projects where we can actually go and take EAM in. Imagine women's refugees where, as well as getting the help and the love and support that they get, they also get to learn EAM. You can sponsor somebody in need to actually go through the journey to changing their life. It's been part of my vision. It's been hiding in the background for like at least the last year. But working alongside that will be allowing our mentors to be able to go in and do work in these projects, actually working with the teams, not just working with the people, but actually creating change within the organizations as well. Because the people who are working with the people need to be in alignment, and they need to have let go of their shit in exactly the same way as we've been talking about as a coach or therapist. We need to be congruent, a dentist with the bad teeth, the teacher who can't spell, a doctor or nurse can't be standing by someone's bedside with all their stress, with all their fear, projecting their thoughts and beliefs onto somebody either. And I truly believe that we can create massive change in the world when everybody is living their life in that way as much as possible. So instead of just thinking about it, instead of it just being a dream, instead of it just being a vision, I want to do something about it. And for me, that's the extension of what EAM is really about. It's always been about making a change in the world. It's scary as hell, I have to say. And I don't mean that from a fear-based place, but it just feels right. So I'm actually really grateful for that person who was like, who do you think you are? Because it really made me question, who the hell do I think I am? But it also made me more certain, and why the hell not? Someone has to. And I know I'm not doing this on my own. So with all of that said, what I would love to help you do now, we are going to bring some clarity to you and your purpose and what you're here for, with or without EAM, whether you're coming on the next steps of the journey or wanting to become a mentor or not. I want you to be so clear what your purpose is. And with that, everything begins to just fall into place. So the question that we asked earlier, what do you think your purpose is? I know some of you were saying, like, I'm not sure. I feel like I'm struggling. I feel like I'm stuck. I just want you to guess. And hopefully some of the bits that we just talked about have given you a little bit more clarity what a purpose might begin with. What I'm about to lead you through is an exercise I actually originally heard from Dean Graziosi. It's called Your Big Why, or the seven whys. So I'm going to ask you, we'll do a step 5 on this at the end. What I want you to do, you need a piece of paper and a pen to work through this. I want you to start at the top of the piece of paper. Claire's going to put some music on very quietly in the background just while I lead you through this. It's going to take us about 10-15 minutes. And the only question I'm going to ask you is why. So the first thing I want you to write at the top of your paper is what you think, even if it's just a guess, just write something down. The first thing you write is not going to be it, okay? What we're going to get to is what your real deeper why is. So you saw my vision. I know if I had to write what is my why at the top is to create change. And I can't remember exactly the words that I went through the steps, but ultimately it came down to me. I absolutely know in my heart that the way for us to create change is by being in alignment. And living a life out of alignment, out of integrity, out of truth with ourselves is never going to create the change that we want to see on the planet. And it has to be everyone. And it's not just the people, it's the systems, and it's the systems, it's the institutions, it's everything has to shift into the new paradigm in order for us to be there. So it isn't just about changing our life. It is about birthing the new earth. And that clarity came for me. The foundation came for me from doing this exercise. So Claire, if you can play some music just quietly for us in the background. What I would love you to begin with at the top of the piece of paper, just to close your eyes to me and take a nice deep breath in. Thank you, Claire. I just want you to imagine you're releasing and relaxing any tension from your body. Just imagine your heart is opening up and expanding out in front of you, behind you, stretching your energy field up above you and down below your feet. Just visualize for a moment the crown of your head opening up into a beautiful funnel, stretching up, up through the roof of your house, out into the clouds, right out into our upper atmosphere. And as you see this powerful light connecting you to this whole incredible grid of energy, the mass consciousness, each and every one of us who are connected here together today, whether you're tuning in live or on the replay, every person on this planet here to play their part. Now just to bring your energy and attention back down inside, back into your heart space. And I want you to connect back to that first question of what is your purpose? I just want you to write down the first thing that comes to you. Don't edit it, don't question it, don't doubt it. Just write down the very first thing that comes to mind. What is your purpose? What are you here for? Now I want you to look at what you've just written. Why is what you have just said important to you? And then I want you to write an answer in as number 2. What you wrote in space number 1, Why is that important to you? Even if it's just one word or one line. Now, next to number 3, why is what you just wrote at number 2 important for you to do? Why is it important for you to change? Why is it important that that thing exists or is created or is different? Now, next to number 4, why is what you just shared, why is that powerful, needed, necessary? Why does that need to be you? Why does that change need to occur? What will that allow you or them or the world to think or feel or be or do or have? So this is the 4th statement down for you now. Just allow whatever answers are coming without editing yourself, without doubting yourself, without second guessing what's there. Just allow your heart to speak to you. Now, step number 5, the 5th statement. Looking at what you wrote in space number 4 again. Why? Why is this powerful? Why is this important? Why is this needed? Space number 6 now. Once again, taking a look at what you've written in space number 5. Why? You're becoming closer and closer now to the true message in your heart, allowing it to unfold. Now just taking a real look at that last statement you wrote in number 6. The last one, number 7 now. Why is that important for you, for the world, or to be changed? So just taking a look at what you've written, just allow yourself to fully just express everything else that needs to come with this last statement. That music got dramatic, it does. Just really allow this statement to sink into you, to really feel it. For those of you who are ready, I would love to see, please write your number 7 statement in the chat or in the Facebook group for those of you that are tuning in there. What clarity did this bring? Claire, I love that. Wow, there you go, both of you. 2 of you to bring heaven on earth. I love that. To create new worlds, to help love life. We were created for this. Wow, guys. Unconditional love. All children will be loved and protected. Keely's bringing heaven to earth too. A community who supports one another. Love, peace, and unity. You guys. Freedom to love, because love leads the way. To reconnect with the divine. To bring joy and love to the world. manifest ascension to bring in the new golden age, to see God everywhere. This is so beautiful. I'm literally like, my makeup's going to start pouring down my face. Love, freedom, passion. Create a peace of mind. The world will be a better place. See God in every corner. Wow, you guys. People connecting to a sense of belonging, to be at peace, to create greater ways of living, to heal the world, freedom. This sounds like a pretty bloody awesome place to be for me. Step 5, let's bring this all in together. On your feet together, please, everyone. And let's allow this beautiful, amazing clarity that you've just found to be fully manifested into your life, into your reality, into your energy. And literally, I've got goosebumps. Okay, just closing your eyes for me. Arms above your head. You allow this energy in. I am ready to allow myself to truly live the purpose I am here for, to make my difference on the planet, to share my why, to share my passion, and to impact the people I know I am here to serve. I allow all of this fully into my energy so that together we can bring heaven to earth, to create freedom, love, and unity, to find peace, healing, connection, and support. I allow this fully into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to allow myself to step fully into my life purpose, to make my difference on the planet, to follow my heart, whatever it takes. To allow myself to play my part, to be on the right side of history, to birth heaven on earth as we bring in this new paradigm of freedom, of love. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to allow the clarity of my why to express fully in my life, so that I may clearly act on my purpose. To express what I am here for. To play my part in creating change. As we bring heaven to earth, love, freedom, support, truth, connection, compassion into every corner of humanity. As we change the systems, societies, and energy on this planet, I allow this fully into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Just slowly bring your arms down, allowing everything we have just manifested together to come down from the higher vibrations into this slower, lower vibrational reality that we live in. Feeling it coming down through your head and your heart into your hara, allowing it to manifest here into this 3D experience that we've chosen to live in. Just take your time. Just allow yourself to come back into your heart. Just really breathe that in. I don't know what to say. That was pretty epic. You guys are amazing. Clara said, amen, it is done. It's done. I love that. It's done. I absolutely love doing this work together. Thank you all for showing up tonight. I hope you have some clarity on your why and your purpose and what you're here for, what we're all here for. It seems, I can't believe how many of you shared exactly the same message in the chat. Yeah, this was more epic than I thought it was going to be. Sex and rock and roll. So I want you to take this energy, all of it, everything we've created tonight, and just, I want to say tuck it up in your heart, but that's the wrong thing. Just allow your heart, now you've really expressed this, whatever it's brought up for you, go back through what you wrote, because in some of your whys, there may be resistance. There may still be elements of your story. There may still be elements of your pain. that need to be worked on. And you know, that is the stuff that we will do beyond these next, beyond tomorrow. Day 6 is the last day. If you're all wondering why I sound like I've smoked 20 fags, I've literally just got over COVID, by the way, so I've still just got this annoying cough still, which is lingering. Some of what came up will have come from your pain, and that is usually where our whys come from. So if there's anything in what you've shared that still feels angry or hurt, or it's coming from a need to protect others from going through what you went through, use that as a starting point, because there's still energy to be healed. And like we said earlier, to change our story, to transform what was, we need to do the work on healing that. And that is the important piece to truly be able to empower change in others. Remember that you and only you have this message to bring to the world. The experiences you've had in your life, with your journey that you've been through in your way, and nobody has experienced this life on this planet in the same way as you, and no one ever will. Living your purpose is one of the most important things you can do. We work 30% of our life, and you want to be doing it from a place of joy, whatever it is that you're here for. And with that, the money flows, the opportunities flow, the happiness flows into everywhere else. Imagine the world we've created it. As you already said, we've already birthed the new earth. Amen. And so it is. We've already done this in the world of energy. That's the beautiful thing about working in the world of energy. The change is instant. Time does not exist. But now it comes the aligned action piece, which is where we need to start putting the pedal to the metal, putting this into practice, taking the aligned action, showing up and speaking our truth, getting over our shit, letting go of the stories, letting go of the excuses that stand in the way of you listening to your call. Whatever that is, there is a calling in your heart, and I just want you to listen to it. I just want you to find it, and I just want you to listen to it, and let nothing get in the way of your heart leading you where you need to go. So those are my intentions for today. Tomorrow is our day 6, our last day, our last official day together as part of the Energy Accelerator. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It's going to be a live coaching session. So we're going to be working on whatever is standing in your way. I'm going to get my flip chart out. It's an opportunity for you to ask the big questions, how EAM works with whatever it is that's coming up. I can give you some guidance and specific ways that you can start thinking of putting EAM into practice. And we might do some live coaching with a couple of people. But tomorrow is less of a teach and much more of a do. I have no idea how long we will be, so just give yourself the time and space to be. But it's our last session together tomorrow. So thank you for this incredible session. I've got to go and watch film now because it's date night and the boys are waiting for me. So they've probably eaten all the popcorn, and I'm going to be left with the little crappy bits at the bottom. But yeah, I'm off to go do my mummy thing. For this, thank you so much for tonight. For those of you, so I have to bring this up as well. Somebody messaged, I can't remember who it was earlier, someone had messaged in the Facebook group. For those of you who aren't necessarily used to listening to the English language, or my accent, should I say, I was talking about head, heart, and hara, H-A-R-A, not head, heart, and horror, as in scary horror, which comes up. So sorry for any confusion at the beginning of the week. If that was, everyone was like, why do I want to manifest horror? Horror. Thank you for tonight. Please come and share under this video in the Facebook group. I would really love, I didn't see everybody's flash up in the chat. I would really love you to share your big whys in the Facebook group, and just so that I can see them more fully. I'll see you tomorrow. For those of you who are yet to book a call or want to book a call, I'm sure Claire might be able to fling it in the chat quickly for you. I know some of you are already booked in to speak to us next week. But if you really are feeling called, whether it's just to do this journey, the next steps in the journey, which I know I haven't explained to you yet, but if you're feeling called to just do this to change your life for yourself, or you're feeling called to be able to step into being part of this, to becoming an EAM mentor, to learn how to put this into practice and change the lives of others, the next step in the journey is for both parts of that. So I will talk about that tomorrow for those of you that want to know more, but you can always book a call and just talk to us. The mentors, those of you that want to become mentors, you do need to talk to me, I'm afraid, because I want to make sure that we're bringing the right people in. For the next step, it's not an interview, it really is just a chit chat, but you do need to speak to me. You can't get away with talking to Claire, and I'm not scary, I promise I'm not super scary. Right, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, be ready for the grand finale. You guys have been incredible tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up and sharing your beautiful messages. I will see you tomorrow evening. Thanks, everyone. Love you guys.